To the Finance Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, Haseeb Drabu. Mr. Drabu, appreciate you joining us here on CNBC-TV18. I'm happy to report, sir, that the CNBC-TV18 news breaks through last night and this morning have now been confirmed by the GST Council. How significant is this going to be in alleviating the pain, specifically for the export sector? Is this far enough, or do you believe that more will need to be done?
No, of course, focus was really on small trade and exports. Now, looking at exports, I think all procedural issues which cause the distress for the exporters have been addressed. Yet the substantive issues of embedded taxes, inversion of duty and all that remains to be addressed, which hopefully will get addressed in the next meeting. The focus of this meeting, really, broadly speaking, was to reduce the compliance distress that we have been hearing about small trade and exporters. So consequently, people below 1.5 have gone to a quarterly cycle and so on and so forth. So that has reduced it substantially. Plus the exports now virtually going back to a pre-GST system and getting an exemption. So a significant departure has been made this time to give exemption under GST, but for a defined period till March 18. Post that, a modality will be worked out either in the form of a e-wallet with virtual currency or some other form. But that will operate from the 1st of April next year.
Oh, I thought the decision was to go with an e-wallet, sir. So you're saying that there is the possibility of something else being decided upon as well?
There is a possibility that you may come up with something. So while the e-wallet thing is pretty much the option because no other third option is available, but you could look at some other modalities. So that is still open.
What could that other modality be?
I don't know, maybe you could still look at doing a direct subsidy or something, but because one is not really gone into the e-wallet thing as yet. So we'll have to kind of look at it a little more closely.
Okay. Mr. Drabu, in terms of the rate revisions, and we were given to understand that, you know, as many as 60 rates could have been up for revision. Any big ticket items that got revised, especially in the 28% bracket?
Actually, the broad principle, last time they had come up for discussion and we had suggested that the GST Council suggested that do a concept paper for this. What should be the base of revisions? I think now that they have brought out a paper, the GST Council brought out a paper, it was discussed, states had made comments. In light of those guidelines, the revisions will now be put up again in the next meeting. So no major revisions have taken place today. I think except one on works contracts for government jobs from 12 to 5%. Other than that, I don't think any major rate revisions have happened.
Okay, you're saying that not too many rate revisions have happened. Mr. Drabu, also wanted to understand on some of the other issues related to the reverse charge mechanism, etc., which we were given to understand have also been suspended till March next year?
Yes, the reverse charge mechanism has also been suspended. And one more thing has been done, which will also kind of make the composition scheme attractive, is to raise the bar from 75 lakh to 1 crore. So that is another kind of compliance thing which has been done to ease compliance. And now what has been referred to a group of ministers are 2 or 3 issues. One being the fact that should the composition scheme also get IGST, should get interstate inclusion and ITC. They invested it. So that has been referred to as GOM. What has also been referred to as GOM is whether you can cut the rates of restaurants from 80 to 12% with or without ITC. So currently they operate at 80% with ITC, and it has been observed that the restaurants have not passed on the benefit to the customers. So it might be worthwhile to explore to bringing down the rates to 12% and give no ITC. So that also has been referred to.
Give no ITC.
With no ITC. And these 3 issues will now go to a GOM, which has been asked to submit a report within a fortnight and will be discussed either before the Assam Guwahati meeting or at the Guwahati meeting.
Okay, so there is a timeline by when we expect this report on the issue pertaining to restaurants, etc. is concerned. Mr. Drabu, we've got some of the best tax experts here with us on the panel, sir. Also, Ajay Sahai of FIO right here with us. Since you said that today's meeting really focused on addressing the compliance distress and a lot of the substantive issues pertaining to the export sector, for instance, will be taken up on the 9th and 10th in the next meeting in Guwahati. Let me give an opportunity to our experts to get specific clarifications from you. Ajay Sahai, we've got the Finance Minister of Jammu and Kashmir who's just finished the GST Council meeting. Any specific clarification you would like from him?
Thank you, sir, for clarifying many of the issues. We will just like to seek your clarification on one point. You are saying that we are going back to the pre-GST regime for export for next 6 months, and then from 1st of April, government is contemplating to introduce e-wallet. What will happen to the merchant exporter in the period? Because merchant exporter in the pre-GST was given an exemption based on certain forms. Those forms are no longer under the GST. So what will happen to that?
Yeah.
Secondly, when it comes to the issue of e-wallet, our understanding is that the money in the e-wallet will be given by the government, and whether that will be on the basis of 3 monthly requirement or it will be on yearly requirement, because a lot of money would be required even if it was for a quarterly requirement.
Actually, the e-wallet thing is really a virtual currency and can be used only for refunds. It's not as if that this is now another, currency being used. It's a virtual currency which will be only used for refunds and will be based on past track records or a confirmed order for new exporters. The issue really is that there has been a delay in refunds in the system, and it takes about 4 to 5 months to do that. So in order to ensure that there is no blockage of capital, this thing has been devised. Now, for the moment, when I said it's going back to GST regime, to the previous regime, I meant it in a very specific sense that till now, under the GST regime, we have very consciously avoided giving exemptions. And it's all refund-based. So far, it has been. For the first time, we have introduced an exemption, so which is why it goes back to, in some way, the pre-GST era. So that's why I was saying that. It's not as if that the same forms will apply. As regards merchant exports, I don't think a decision has been taken to extend this benefit to them as well.
Mr. Drabu, we've also got with us MS Money. Money, go ahead with your question.
Sir, I would just like to know from you that when we are talking of pre-GST and post-GST, in terms of whatever credits have been taken and whatever credits have been passed on, was there any discussion at all in the meeting in order to alleviate the difficulties of people who have faced a lot of difficulty in taking the pre-GST credits through the transition route?
No, you see, the thing is that is precisely the point which is trying to be addressed, that we, instead of now getting them to get a refund where the processes have still not been worked out fully, and we are facing some operational difficulties, which is why the exemption route was taken, that you will now take inputs into exports as deemed exports and not have any protection. These are really the procedural matters. As I said, the substantive issue which export sector is facing in terms of either the embedded taxes or the inversion of duties will be addressed in the next council meeting.
Okay. We've also got with us Hari. Hari, quick question here for Mr. Drabu.
Sir, was there any discussion on the car lease issue? Because car leases are now tagged to the underlying automobile rate. So was there any discussion on the car lease issue, because it was taken up even in the last council meeting?
Yes, it was. I think too many procedural things. I don't know the exact thing, but it has been freed. So there has been some relief to the car leasing. There has been relief.
So there has been some relief.
Yes, for sure.
Okay, some relief has been given to car leasing, but you can't, you don't remember offhand what the rate is that they've been moved to, because my Twitter timeline is.
The rates have been reduced. The rates have been
reduced.
Thank you.
Good to see.
The rates have been reduced.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, all right, sir. Thanks very much for that clarification as well. Rohan Shah, quick question here for Mr. Drabu.
Yes, Minister, firstly, compliments on all the far-reaching decisions taken. On composition, just 2 questions. One, in terms of services, Is there a move to expand the ambit of composition to include all services? And secondly, the issue in terms of input tax credit for anyone who comes within the composition. What is the thinking there? And secondly, any decisions or any discussion at all on area-based exemptions, part of which of course also affect your state?
Yeah, on the composition, I think what we have raised the turnover limit from 75 to 1 crore at the moment. What is being discussed and which has been referred to a GOM is whether to include interstate sales on that and ITC. I think these are two key issues that will come up for discussion. On the services part, the 20 lakh, the turnover 20 lakh that you don't have to get into a IGST registration has been extended to all services. So there is up to 20 lakh turnover per annum. Services will be included in that exemption which was issued last time with reference to handicrafts. So now services has been given that relief as well.
Okay. All right, sir. And we've got Sachin Menon from KPMG, the head of KPMG with us as well. Sachin, very quickly before the finance minister starts speaking, a quick question from you.
Well, sir, regarding this reverse charge on the URD purchases, is there any decision on this matter? Is it been discontinued? There is some news about that. And second question...
No, it has been suspended till March next year, 31st March. It has been suspended to let the system stabilize. So that's all. It's one of the key pillars of GST, and it will come back from 1st of April. But for the moment, between now and March next year, the RCM has been suspended.
So the reverse charge mechanism has been suspended till March next year. Haseeb Drabu, it has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for joining us here on CNBC-TV18 and taking up the questions that our tax experts have put forward. And as we point